Have you been waking up several times a night, feeling like you never fully emptied your bladder? Has your confidence taken a quiet hit, energy fading, drive disappearing, and you can't quite put your finger on why? And what if the real cause wasn't stress, age, or diet, but a tiny inflamed gland buried deep in your pelvis that's been overlooked for years? Hi, I'm Dr. Nana, and in today's video from Senior Health Boost, we're pulling back the curtain on a topic most men never talk about but nearly all eventually face. Let's face it, most men over 60 don't talk about their prostate. Not at dinner, not with their friends, and often, not even with their doctor. But the effects? They're felt every single day. Energy levels begin to drop, intimacy becomes more difficult, and self-confidence quietly fades. And the root cause? It's not just age. It's often a swollen prostate, inflamed, neglected, and slowly disrupting your sleep, your daily rhythm, and even your peace of mind. For many older men, this shows up as constant trips to the bathroom, restless nights, and the frustrating sense that your drive, your spark, is slipping away. These are the silent struggles we rarely share, even though they impact every corner of life. But here's the good news. You're about to discover one of the most powerful natural tools for reclaiming prostate health. And it's not some exotic herb or expensive supplement. It's a fruit, yes, a single fruit that's been used for centuries to reduce inflammation, improve circulation, and calm urinary discomfort, sometimes in as little as 24 hours, when used correctly. I've spent over 20 years helping men over 60 regain their strength, sleep better, and feel confident again without relying on synthetic medications or invasive procedures. From military veterans to former CEOs, one thing they all wanted was real results, something natural, reliable, and lasting. In this video, I'll be sharing 5 powerful fruits that can help shrink your prostate, restore healthy blood flow, and rebuild your confidence. And the top fruit on the list? It's something most men have eaten for years without ever knowing its hidden benefits. Before we dive in, I'd love for you to subscribe to Senior Health Boost and tap the notification bell, so you never miss practical, proven health tips that truly make a difference. Also, if you're ready to learn the truth about natural prostate support, type yes in the comments. Not sure yet? Type O to let me know you're still thinking about it. Either way, your voice matters. Let's begin our journey with the first fruit, small, tart, and often overlooked at holiday gatherings, the humble cranberry. Now, when most people think of cranberries, they think of women's health, especially urinary health. That's what the commercials have taught us. That's what many doctors have historically recommended. But now, new science is flipping the script. Cranberries aren't just a female remedy anymore. They've become one of the most overlooked superfoods for men, especially those dealing with prostate problems. And here's why. Over 50% of men over 60 are dealing with benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH. You know the signs: the midnight bathroom marathons, the weak stream, the uncomfortable feeling that your bladder never fully empties. These issues don't just affect your body. They affect how you move, how you sleep, and how confident you feel around your partner. Over time, they chip away at your mood, your energy, and your motivation. But here's the problem. Too many men have accepted it as just part of aging. It doesn't have to be. Cranberries contain potent bioactive nutrients that don't just support bladder health in women, they also target inflammation in the male prostate. The key lies in a group of compounds called proanthocyanidins, or PACs. Specifically, the type A PACs found in cranberries. These powerful nutrients block the very pathways that trigger inflammation, helping reduce swelling and support smoother, more complete urinary flow. In one clinical study, men who took cranberry extract daily showed up to a 30% drop in prostate inflammation markers. They urinated less frequently, had stronger flow, and felt more in control of their lives again. In another 6-month study, men experienced a 25% improvement in their IPS scores, a standard medical measure used to evaluate BPH severity. That's not just a number. That's meaningful change. That's sleeping through the night. That's confidence coming back. In my own clinic, I remember a patient 67 years old who came in looking exhausted. He told me he hadn't had a full night's rest in over a year. Every night, he was waking up 5 to 6 times just to urinate. He thought it was just something he had to live with. We made one small adjustment. 8 ounces of unsweetened cranberry juice a day. That's it. Within 6 weeks, he was waking up only once per night. His energy improved, his mood lifted, and most importantly, he finally felt like himself again. And he's not alone. Many of my patients have experienced real results from cranberry products. Not miracles, but steady, measurable improvements in comfort, confidence, and day-to-day energy, especially when combined with small daily habits we'll be exploring in this series. So, what other fruits can do the same or even more? As we just explored, cranberries offer more than just relief for a swollen prostate. For many men, they mark the beginning of a true turnaround: better sleep, fewer bathroom trips, and a quiet but powerful return of confidence. But here's the thing: cranberries don't stop there. They're not only a friend to your prostate, they're an ally to your entire body. These small, tart berries help keep your heart pumping strong by improving how your blood vessels expand and contract. Imagine your arteries working like a well-oiled machine, opening easily, circulating blood with less strain, and keeping your entire cardiovascular system running more efficiently. That's what cranberries can help support. They're also rich in antioxidants, those incredible little defenders that reduce damage at the cellular level. Day by day, your body is exposed to oxidative stress from the food you eat, the air you breathe, and even the stress you carry. Over time, that damage shows up as aging, slower memory, tired skin, aching joints. But antioxidants from cranberries work behind the scenes to slow that damage down, protecting your brain, your cells, and your vitality. And let's not forget your immune system. Cranberries are packed with flavonoids, plant compounds that not only reduce inflammation but also enhance immune function. When your immune system functions better, every other part of your body can do its job more effectively. Fewer sick days, more energy, more life. Now here's what I love most as a doctor and a man myself. Cranberries are simple. No complicated diet shifts. No expensive programs. No weird pills with long names. All you need is a half cup of fresh cranberries daily, or an 8-ounce glass of unsweetened cranberry juice. That's it. But and this is important: avoid the sugary juice blends you find on most store shelves. Those are often loaded with added sugars that spike your blood sugar and actually increase inflammation, the very thing we're trying to reduce. The goal is pure, unsweetened cranberry juice, or the real fruit itself. And don't underestimate the power of this tiny change. It may seem small, but it can create a ripple effect throughout your body. Over the years, I've watched countless men experience their own quiet revolutions, starting with a simple handful of cranberries. One patient told me, "Dr. Nana, it didn't feel like a big deal at first. But suddenly, I wasn't waking up 5 times a night. My wife noticed I was in a better mood. I felt sharper at work. It was like I got part of myself back." That's the power of nature when used right. But we're just getting started. There's another fruit, one that most men overlook, that doesn't just help the prostate, it may also support testosterone levels naturally. Let's talk about red grapes. They're sweet, they're simple, and they've been grown and eaten for thousands of years. But hidden beneath that juicy skin is something remarkable: a compound called resveratrol. And for older men, resveratrol can be a game changer. Let me tell you a story. A few years ago, I had a patient, we'll call him Jim. He was 67, recently retired, and visibly discouraged when he first came into my office. His words stuck with me. "I feel like I've just faded," he said. "No energy, no drive. I don't sleep well. And honestly, I don't feel like myself." During our consultation, he casually mentioned something interesting: he had red grapes growing in his backyard. That got my attention. I told him, "Jim, I want you to start eating a handful of those grapes every day. Just a cup or so, nothing crazy." 6 weeks later, he returned and the change was undeniable. His eyes were brighter, his posture more upright. He smiled and said, "I don't know what's in those grapes, Dr. Nana, but I've got my drive back. And I'm sleeping better too." So what happened? The answer lies in resveratrol, a natural compound found in red grapes that helps restore hormonal balance in the male body. Here's how it works. As men age, estrogen levels can slowly rise, while testosterone, the very hormone tied to vitality, muscle strength, and sexual drive, begins to decline. Resveratrol helps tip the scale back by reducing excess estrogen and supporting healthier testosterone production. But that's just the beginning. Resveratrol also activates a protein called SIRT1. Think of it as a cellular repair switch, one that helps calm inflammation, heal damage, and even support longevity. It's like flipping on your body's own internal defense system. And the prostate? It benefits directly. Less inflammation, better flow, improved tissue health. But wait, there's more. Resveratrol improves blood flow by protecting the endothelium, the inner lining of your blood vessels. Why does that matter? Because healthy blood flow affects everything: your heart, your brain, your muscles, and yes, even your intimacy. When blood moves freely, every part of your body works better. Red grapes also support memory and mental clarity. Their antioxidants protect brain cells and may slow down the cognitive decline that many fear with aging. Combine that with better sleep and stable hormones, and you have a recipe for sharper focus and stronger mood. And here's something especially important for men managing blood sugar. Resveratrol also enhances insulin sensitivity. That means your body processes sugar more efficiently, reducing spikes, crashes, and the brain fog that comes with them. For men in their 60s and beyond, that's a powerful advantage. Now, how do you get more red grapes into your life? Simple. You can eat them fresh. 1 to 2 cups a day is a great start. Or, if you're on the go, opt for 100% red grape juice with no added sugars. For those who want even more convenience, a high-quality grape extract supplement can deliver concentrated resveratrol benefits in just 1 capsule. Whatever form you choose, the key is consistency. I tell my patients all the time, the most powerful changes come from the smallest habits done consistently. And just like cranberries, red grapes are safe, natural, and easy to find. No need for prescriptions. No side effects to worry about. Just one more tool to restore your body from the inside out. So now we've covered 2 of the most powerful fruits for prostate health: cranberries and red grapes. But there's a third fruit, one you've likely known your whole life, that holds even more promise. You've heard the saying, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Maybe it always sounded like a children's rhyme, something too simple to be true. But modern science is now proving that this timeless wisdom actually holds weight. Coming up next, we'll dive into why apples may be one of the most underrated fruits for men's health, especially when it comes to reducing inflammation, supporting the prostate, and boosting long-term vitality. So grab a glass of water, stretch your legs if you need to, but don't go far. We just explored how red grapes can support testosterone and blood flow. But now, let's go back to the basics, because sometimes it's the simplest fruits that carry the most powerful impact. Think about it. When you were growing up, how many times did you hear, an apple a day keeps the doctor away? It may have sounded like an old saying, passed down from grandparents and school lunch tables, but it turns out that simple wisdom was right all along. In fact, apples have been a symbol of strength and everyday vitality for centuries. And in today's world, where new health fads and expensive supplements flood your newsfeed, the humble apple still earns its place, backed by modern science. Recent research has revealed that apples contain a powerful flavonoid called quercetin. This compound is now being studied for its impressive ability to reduce inflammation in the prostate and slow the progression of benign prostatic hyperplasia (BPH). In plain English, apples help keep your prostate from becoming swollen, irritated, and disruptive to your daily life. Let me share a story. Mark, one of my patients, came to my clinic at age 64. He looked tired, frustrated, and told me he was getting up 4 to 5 times a night to use the bathroom. He was exhausted physically and emotionally. I gave him one simple suggestion: 2 apples a day. 1 in the morning, 1 after dinner. No pills, no prescriptions, just apples. 8 weeks later, he came back and everything about him was different. His voice had more energy. His posture was more upright. And then he said something that struck me. Dr. Nana, I didn't realize how much this was wearing me down until it stopped. He was sleeping through the night. His energy was stable. And his confidence, something that had slowly faded, had started to return. So how does a fruit as ordinary as the apple bring such powerful results? It comes down to quercetin, the same compound I mentioned earlier. In men with BPH, inflammation causes the prostate to swell and press on the bladder. That's what leads to frequent urination, interrupted sleep, and that never-ending feeling of discomfort. But quercetin helps calm those overactive cells. It works from the inside out, easing inflammation and reducing the pressure on your urinary system. And that's not all. Apples also protect your prostate at a cellular level. Their antioxidants help shield your cells from oxidative stress, the kind of internal damage that slowly breaks down tissues over time. And it's not just about prostate health. This protection supports long-term function in everything from your heart to your brain. Another thing most men don't realize: apples contain fiber that plays a role in hormone balance. When your hormones stay balanced, your prostate is less likely to become inflamed or irritated. In fact, apples are one of those rare fruits that support your entire system. They improve blood flow, keeping your heart healthy. They help manage blood sugar, preventing spikes and crashes that drain your energy. They support digestion, easing the strain on your gut. And they assist your liver, helping it flush toxins so your body can focus on healing, not fighting. Now, if you want the full benefit, here's my recommendation. Eat 1 to 2 medium apples per day and don't peel them. Most of the quercetin lives in the skin. And when possible, choose organic to avoid pesticide residues that can interfere with hormone balance. Here's what I tell my patients. Big changes don't always come from big efforts. Sometimes the smallest habits done consistently bring the biggest relief. So, the next time you reach for a snack, remember, you're not just feeding your hunger, you could be feeding your prostate what it needs to calm down and heal. But we're not stopping here. The next fruit we'll explore comes from a category that many men used to fear, fat. There was a time not long ago when fat was treated like the enemy. Men threw away the egg yolks. They skipped the butter. They ignored the avocados. But science has since flipped the script. Today, we know that healthy fats are some of the most vital allies for your hormones and prostate. And one fruit in particular stands out, the avocado. Creamy, rich, and nutrient-dense, avocados are loaded with compounds that nourish male vitality at the root. They support testosterone production, reduce prostate inflammation, and help restore that sense of inner balance and strength many men feel slipping as they age. Let me break it down for you. While processed foods sneak in and disrupt your hormone system, avocados do the exact opposite. They nourish your endocrine system, they calm inflammation, and they help reset your body's rhythm so you can feel grounded again. One standout nutrient is beta-sitosterol, a plant sterol found in avocados that's been shown in studies to relieve symptoms of enlarged prostate. Men who include beta-sitosterol in their diet often report stronger, more consistent urinary flow, fewer nighttime interruptions, improved overall energy. But don't just take it from me. One of my longtime patients, Carl, age 69, came in worn down. His nights were full of interruptions. His days felt sluggish. And his overall mood? Flat. I recommended one simple step: half an avocado every day. That's it. 6 weeks later, Carl returned and said, "Dr. Nana, I sleep straight through now. My afternoons aren't a fog anymore. I just feel normal again." That's the kind of transformation I love to see. Avocados offer a deep hormonal reset, something no pill can replicate. They're a powerhouse for the male body, and the best part, they're delicious, versatile, and easy to add to any meal. Slice one on toast, dice it in a salad, blend it into a smoothie. However you eat it, just eat it. Now, as we wrap up this page, let's take a quick breath. We've now walked through 3 major fruits that support your prostate: cranberries for inflammation and urinary health, grapes for testosterone and blood flow, apples for hormone balance and long-term protection. And now, we've added a 4th, avocados, your ultimate hormonal ally. But there's still one more to go. In the next section, we'll look at a fruit often overlooked in Western diets, yet long celebrated in ancient medicine for its profound ability to balance hormones, improve metabolism, and fortify male health from within. This final fruit could be the missing link in your prostate wellness plan. When Carl came back to my clinic after 6 weeks of eating half an avocado a day, he wasn't just sleeping better or moving with more energy. There was something deeper in his voice, a sense of confidence he hadn't felt in years. That steady, grounded feeling, it had finally returned. That's what can happen when you start nourishing your body at the root, especially the prostate. When your prostate swells, everything shifts. Sleep becomes broken. Urgency takes over your day. Frustration creeps in. But deep inside that smooth, green avocado is a quiet force working in your favor: beta-sitosterol. This natural plant sterol is one of the most heavily studied compounds when it comes to prostate health. And it's not just a buzzword. Beta-sitosterol actually targets the core of the problem: inflammation. It helps soothe the irritated tissue, reducing swelling and allowing urine to pass more easily. No more constant trips to the bathroom. No more waking up 5 times a night. No more silent suffering. Multiple clinical studies confirm what I've seen again and again in my own patients. Beta-sitosterol reduces both pressure and frequency associated with an enlarged prostate. But that's just the beginning of what the avocado can offer. Avocados are rich in monounsaturated fats, a key nutrient in natural testosterone production. Now, let's be clear. Testosterone isn't just about sex drive. It affects your bone density, muscle tone, mental clarity, and even how your body stores fat. Low testosterone is a silent culprit behind why so many men feel drained, foggy, or like they've lost their edge. Avocados help shift that from the inside out. And there's more. Potassium in avocados supports healthy blood pressure and heart function. Fiber helps sweep out excess hormones, supports digestion, and keeps your detox pathways clear. Every bite of avocado checks multiple boxes. It's efficient, it's clean, and most importantly, it's powerful. There's no need to overthink it. Just start with half to 1 avocado per day. Dice it into salads. Spread it over toast. Blend it into your morning smoothie. Or just grab a spoon and eat it straight. Simple, natural, effective. Every time you choose whole foods like this, you're making a choice to reclaim your health. You're not just slowing down inflammation. You're standing up for yourself, for your energy, your sleep, and your sense of control. Avocados don't just shrink the prostate. They help you feel like you again, steady, strong, and confident. But we're not done yet. There's one more fruit, one that most people think is a vegetable. It's found in pasta sauces, sandwiches, and salads, but inside it contains the most heavily researched compound for prostate health. And yet, most men don't eat enough of it. I'm talking about tomatoes. That's right. The familiar red fruit you've eaten your whole life may be the most important food for supporting your prostate after 60. The reason? Lycopene. This potent antioxidant gives tomatoes their rich red color, but that color isn't just cosmetic. It's a sign of what's happening inside. Lycopene actively reduces oxidative stress. It calms chronic inflammation. And most impressive of all, it accumulates in your prostate tissue more than nearly any other organ. That means it doesn't just float around in your bloodstream. It goes directly where it's needed most, your prostate. In clinical trials, lycopene has been shown to lower prostate inflammation markers by up to 40, and not over years, but within just a few months of regular intake. It supports your prostate in multiple ways. It reduces swelling. It fights abnormal cell growth. It helps keep hormones balanced. Let me tell you about David, a 72-year-old patient of mine. He came in worried his PSA levels were rising. He wasn't sleeping through the night, and he constantly felt the urge to urinate. The anxiety was written all over his face. But instead of jumping straight to procedures or medications, I gave him a more natural approach. I said, David, I want you to eat cooked tomatoes at least 5 times a week. That's it. 6 months later, he walked in smiling. His PSA levels had stabilized. His nighttime urgency had dropped dramatically. And for the first time in a long while, he said, Dr. Nana, this is the first time I felt like food was doing something real for me. And that's exactly it. Lycopene doesn't just support prostate health, it targets the problem at its core. It reduces the swelling from within. It helps restore balance. And it gives your body what it needs to do what it was always meant to do, heal itself. Now, if you're ready to get serious about lycopene, here are a few tips. Cooked tomatoes offer more lycopene than raw ones. Think tomato sauces, soups, and stews. Add a little healthy fat like olive oil or avocado to increase absorption. Eat them regularly, at least 4 to 5 times per week, to keep your lycopene levels steady. It's simple, it's affordable, and it's scientifically backed. Cranberries, red grapes, apples, avocados, tomatoes. Each one works in a slightly different way. Together, they form a powerful daily routine to support your prostate, your hormones, and your long-term vitality. But what if I told you that certain habits, things you may be doing every morning without even thinking, could silently be undoing all your hard work? That's exactly what we'll cover in the next part of this series. As we wrap up our journey through tomatoes and the powerful compound lycopene, one thing is crystal clear. Food can bring relief where medication often falls short. Lycopene works at a level most synthetic solutions simply can't reach. It reduces oxidative stress, one of the most dangerous forms of internal wear and tear. This kind of stress is caused by free radicals and stable molecules that quietly damage cells and accelerate aging. But when lycopene is present, it acts like a shield. It neutralizes those free radicals before they cause harm, giving your cells the space they need to repair and regenerate. And that's the beauty of it. Your prostate starts to heal, not just feel temporarily better. In my practice, I've seen men who regularly eat tomatoes experience more stable PSA levels, fewer surprises during checkups, and a stronger sense of control over their health. It's not just about feeling better, it's about knowing you're building real protection from the inside out. Lycopene strengthens your prostate tissue at the cellular level. It makes the cells more resilient, less reactive to hormonal shifts, and less likely to swell or become inflamed. You're no longer walking on a tightrope of symptoms, you're walking on solid ground. And here's the exciting part. Tomatoes don't just stop at prostate health. They support circulation, which is directly tied to stamina and sexual health. When your blood flow improves, so does your confidence. So does your ability to show up fully in your life, in your relationships, in your day-to-day strength. Many men don't realize this, but lycopene also helps protect your testosterone not by boosting it artificially, but by guarding it from oxidative damage. That means your natural testosterone stays stable and available, helping you feel more like yourself as you age. Now, why is lycopene so effective? It comes down to structure. Lycopene has a unique shape, long, flexible, and reactive in just the right way. It's designed by nature to lock onto free radicals, especially in the prostate, and disarm them before they cause chaos. No synthetic pill does it with that level of precision, and certainly not with the added benefits of a whole food like the tomato. But tomatoes go even further. They're packed with vitamin C, which boosts immunity. They contain potassium, which supports your heart and fluid balance. They offer folate, which aids in cell repair, and vitamin K, which helps manage inflammation throughout your body. Together, these nutrients create a symphony of support, each one playing its part to protect and restore your health. Now, if you want to get the most from tomatoes, here's something important: cook them. Heat unlocks lycopene's full potential. In fact, cooked tomatoes are up to 4 times more absorbable than raw ones. So don't be afraid of sauce, paste, stews, or roasted tomatoes. These aren't just comfort foods, they're healing tools in disguise. Aim for 5 to 7 servings a week. That could mean a bowl of tomato soup with lunch, a spoonful of tomato paste stirred into your rice, or stew roasted tomatoes with garlic and olive oil at dinner. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. And here's the best part: tomatoes are safe. No side effects, no drug interactions, no dependency. Just a natural, time-tested way to feed your body what it needs to stay strong. But as powerful as tomatoes are, they're only one piece of the puzzle. When you combine tomatoes with the 4 other fruits we've talked about, cranberries, red grapes, apples, and avocados, something amazing happens. It's called food synergy. Each of these fruits targets a different layer of your health. Cranberries calm urinary inflammation, grapes support testosterone and blood flow, apples balance hormones and support the immune system, avocados restore hormone strength and reduce prostate swelling, and tomatoes, rich in lycopene, do it all at the cellular level. Individually, they're strong. Together, they're transformative. Most men make the mistake of trying one thing at a time, a supplement here, a tea there, and then get frustrated when results don't show up. But real change doesn't come from isolated fixes. It comes from a strategic, consistent approach, small daily actions that build up into lasting strength. That's why this works. These 5 fruits don't require any crash diets. You don't need to count calories or give up your favorite meals. You just need to add in a few simple habits. Here's what I tell my patients: add cranberries to your oatmeal, toss avocado into your sandwich, snack on red grapes after lunch, blend an apple into your smoothie, stir some tomato paste into your dinner. You don't have to do it all at once. Start small, but start today. Men across the world, husbands, fathers, grandfathers, have already begun using this approach, and they're seeing real results. Fewer nighttime bathroom trips, stronger urinary flow, more energy throughout the day, sharper focus, better sleep, and most importantly, peace of mind. Not from a bottle, not from a commercial, but from real food, real choices, made at your own table. In my 20+ years of practice, I've watched hundreds of men, some in their 60s, others in their 80s, take their lives back with this strategy. Healing rarely starts with a prescription. It starts with a fork, with a bowl, with the decision to nourish instead of neglect. So, gentlemen, here's my challenge to you. Look at the 5 fruits we covered today. Pick the one that feels right for you and start there. Tonight, at dinner, or breakfast tomorrow. Your next chapter doesn't require perfection, just your permission. And if this video spoke to you, if something clicked, or if you're feeling a bit more hopeful than when you started, don't keep that to yourself. Hit that like button, subscribe to Senior Health Boost, and leave a comment below. I personally read every single one. Your story, your voice, your small decision to engage, it might be exactly what another man needs to hear to begin his own healing. Because when men support each other, we rise together. And that, my friend, is how change begins. From me, Dr. Nana, and the entire team here at Senior Health Boost, thank you for spending this time with us. Thank you for investing in your health, your future, and your vitality. Now go grab that apple, that avocado, that bowl of tomato soup and take the next step toward the life you deserve. We'll see you in the next video.